Okay, so
He called me the other day at 9. He called me the other day at like 10:15. Hey, Marlon. He called me the other day 10:15. Wanted to talk about some video games.
Maybe he just was.
Want to talk about video games.
Yeah,
Time good.
does he
call it 8.
not have any friends at LJ?
He called it 8.
Oh, he goes to LJ.
Jackson.
Oh.
You don't know? Do you know?
Okay, you guys.
I've seen
Let's
him
come to
before.
order, okay?
Short little boy.
Come on, guys.
Okay.
Let's get started. We've got a lot to do.
Oh,
Everybody, shut up. Well, that's better. Now, we need to decide what to do about the senior prom. Anybody have any ideas?
Who says we even have to have a senior prom anyway?
What we need is a theme for the prom. Something that everybody can get excited about. Something like a night in paradise.
Oh, that's so get off it. Man, we had that theme last year and everybody hated it.
Why don't we decide on the band and let them pick a theme?
No, that's a really dumb idea.
Oh, God.
No,
Boy,
come on, you guys. Let's keep it down, okay?
Start that again.
We've got a lot to do. We've got to decide what to do. We've only got a few months left.
I didn't do it.
Little lady, looks like you could use some help.
What? Who are you?
General Henry M. Robert, United States Army Corps of Engineers, at your service.
Oh, great. Just what I need. What are you supposed to do? Build a dam or something?
Well, I suppose I could if you wanted me to. But I think what you need here is a set of rules.
Rules? What kind of rules?
Aha, a very special kind of rule. Designed specifically for deliberative assembly, such as your student council.
Deliberative assembly, is that what you call this?
Yes. Well, the point is, a set of rules is a way to maintain order and to get things done. It's a way to make sure ultimately the majority rules, but that everyone gets to have their opinion without stepping on someone else's rights. It's a way to get things done one item at a time.
Yeah, right. It sounds great, but I don't think it'll work with this bunch
Believe
of...
me, I know exactly what you mean. Right after the Civil War, people all across America wanted to work for progress. They wanted to make improvements in every aspect of their communities.
I wish I could get the student council to care about something, anything.
Exactly. It's not that they didn't care, it's that they didn't know how to go about it. They'd form societies and communities and associations, but then they'd get bogged down in fussing and feuding, and nothing would get done. Everyone, of course, would get frustrated and... Sound familiar?
Oh yeah, it sounds exactly like student council.
And for exactly the same reason. They didn't have a set of rules to go by. Rules of procedure. I wrote to an old friend in Washington to send me a copy of the rules of the United States Congress. I figured if Congress could get things done, even if it does take a little while, maybe they had something that the rest of us could learn from. So he sent me a copy of the rules of the House of Representatives. Well, I could tell right off that the full set of rules was a little complicated for most people to grasp. But I did a little trimming and a little adapting, and I came out with a publication I call Robert's Rules of Order.
You know, I think I've heard of that.
I wouldn't be surprised. I made the first few copies of my pamphlet in 1876. But within just a few months, so many people wanted them, I couldn't keep up. Since then, it's gone through about a dozen major revisions, and it's become the most popular handbook for parliamentary procedure in the world. In fact, most clubs and organizations have something in their bylaws that says something to the effect of meetings will be conducted according to Robert's Rules of Order. The funny thing is, hardly anybody ever reads them, much less tries to go by them.
I think I've heard something like that in our bylaws, but I've always had the idea that those rules were just for places like, you know, Congress or the Parliament in England. They're just too complicated for ordinary groups like student council, aren't they?
Well, that's the beauty of it, Susie. The truth is, yes, the complete set of rules can get complicated, but the basic principles and concepts are so easy that anyone can understand them. For a small group like your student assembly, I think you'll find that 10% of the rules will cover 90% of the situations. And if something does become complicated, You just look up the rule in the handbook.
That's all fine, but how can I get anybody to obey the rules? They hardly pay any attention to what I tell them to do now.
I know just what you mean, but there's a secret to getting people to follow the rules.
A secret? What kind of secret?